And we are live. We are live, Jim. Welcome to the show, guys. Happy Monday night, 8:30. We are talking about the worst players in each round. Jim, welcome to the show, man. I'm excited to dive in.
Hey, Counselor, thanks for having me tonight.
Man, there's a couple things in news and notes I want to talk about, but today I want to talk about, let's say 5-6 rounds, right? We'll talk 5 or 6 rounds of players, like the worst players in each round, the first 5 or 6 rounds. You know, we might extend it to 6 or 7 rounds. These are players to avoid, players not to draft. And I'm excited, man. We got some people in the comments here. What's up, Tyrell? Quentin Messenger, what's up? Jim's got admin rights today. I gave him admin. He could pop up your comments. He could delete you. So you got to be really nice to Jim, everybody.
Yeah, you can't be mean to me. Hey, let's pop one up. I'm gonna look at this. I got the power.
Oh, there you go, Jim. What do we got
Rich
here?
Clark, I think you need to be arrested because you committed a felony here with this steal of a trade. I gotta say,
I traded Lamb.
He traded CeeDee Lamb for AJ Brown, Rashad White, and Marvin Harrison.
No,
that should be a criminal offense. That
I like
is such an awesome trade.
I like the Marvin Harrison
to you.
side. Yeah, I love the Marvin Harrison side, man. Big time. Are you kidding me? This can't be right.
You say, did I mess up? Really? You feel bad about this trade? This is amazing. Yeah, dude, you killed it. Rich Clark, thumbs up. Thumbs up for you, man.
That's great, Rich. I don't know. The other guy, I feel bad for him. I mean, he must really like Lamb, but Edmondo in the house. Quentin Messenger says, hey, Jimmy. I got lots of great comments here in the house as well. Also, so let's get right to it, Jim. Let's get to the news and notes here real quickly. Breaking Brad is not in with us today. A lot of people like Breaking Brad, but the thing is, some people are saying they don't like Breaking Brad, the news guy. I like him, Jim. Do you have a problem with our news guy?
He's pretty quiet generally. He just says that one line.
He's off. He's taking the night off today for sure. All right, guys, we're in the midst of fantasy season. If you have not got the 16-round draft, so you guys smash it, tap it, slap it. Grab the 16-round draft solution, guys. Grab it below. I've linked it below. And again, tonight, there's a special tonight. Use code SMASH to save. I'm going to put a banner here. There it is. 16-round draft solution. Use code SMASH to save, guys. And the banner will come off in a second. We've got a guy behind the scenes working it. He could take the banner on and off too. We got Breaking Brad in the back working the banners today. We got a lot of admin today working this. Okay, so let's get to the news and notes here. I heard actually Justin Herbert was in practice, and I was reading some sort of note stating that that Harbaugh was saying something along the line of it was like music to his ears, or it was like harmony when he saw Herbert throwing the ball. It's been a while, and he's back. So Herbert is back. Great news for Don't Be a Donkey draft Ladd McConkey as well, right? I would say, Jim.
Boy, I got to say, I've got so much Ladd McConkey in my best ball drafts. I need Herbert to get back in there. I did see the news that he shed his boot, so that's good.
Yeah.
He's still got that plantar fasciitis. That could be something that lingers. You know, that could be one of those lingering foot problems. So hopefully he is past it at this point, and we won't have any more issues. But I love that Herbert's back. He's awesome.
Curtis Samuel, toe. Curtis Samuel. Everybody had Curtis Samuel ahead of Keon Coleman, which is BS. He's got the turf toe. Is considered week to week with turf toe, according to sources. So he should be back. But again, Curtis Samuel, years to wow us. We're not wowed. I'm not seeing the hype at all. But Curtis Samuel, not a guy I'm drafting. This is good news for Keon Coleman if Curtis Samuel stays on IR or in the sidelines. But again, it's still early, right?
Curtis Samuel's not the one. He's never been the one. He's never going to be the one. We know what he is at this point in his career. So he's a non-factor for me. I've got 0 shares of the guy. I have taken 0 shares of Curtis Samuel this year. So
we're still talking news notes, but I have a question here pop up here. If I take Bijan pick 3 round 1, okay, pick 3 round 1, which running back should I take if Kyron Henry are taken? So he's talking Jim coming back around. At that point, Henry could fall.
Yeah, Henry, if he's there, right?
Yeah,
I like Pacheco.
Jim likes Pacheco. I think he's safe. Yeah, Pacheco's a safe guy. He's an option as well. He could fall. Who else is there in around?
Kyron would be good.
Nobody's saying if Kyron and Henry aren't there. And again, See, it gets thin there. Like that's why I like kind of drafting kind of 6 to 8, and then come back around, and like Henry and Kyron are there, right? If not, then I'm starting to look at the best available wide receiver and then even a best available quarterback or something like that. So it depends, man. I mean, it depends. I would say like London or Malik could fall there if you want to go wide receiver, and then get like a Zamir White later and pad it. But again, it gets really tough after that. There really isn't anybody that I like. ATN, which I'm not really crazy on, he could fall. But I'm hoping.
I'm not. I don't think Malik as your wide receiver 1 taken in the second round is a good buy. That's very expensive. I would not do that. Olave would be good. Evans would be good. Perhaps Evans is a good choice at the end of the second round.
Yeah.
But and then in the third round, you circle around. You probably can get Pacheco in the third. You go Josh Jacobs, who I'm liking more and more. It looks like he's really established in there as the number 1. I think it's going to be a big bounce back year for him. So I like him. So.
Okay, let's wrap up the news here real quick here. Jaden Daniels is officially named the starter. That was obvious, pretty obvious. Bo Nix praised by head coach. He's saying he's really comfortable. They're really liking Bo Nix. I feel him. He's going to have a good year. I think he's going to be good in the NFL if he keeps with the momentum that he's had in the offseason. Bo Nix, Jim, I mean, he's a big-time sleeper, right?
Can I just put a little bit of water on that? Because remember how awesome the Pittsburgh Steelers looked with Kenny Pickett last year in the preseason. They looked like this juggernaut that was just going to roll over the NFL. And the season started, and we saw the real Kenny Pickett against a real defense, against real defenses, and it was not good. So I'm still very skeptical of Bo Nix. I hope he can be like this person that the coach wants him to be, but we got to wait for the regular season to start before we know for sure if Bo Nix is for real.
Absolutely. Okay, Mike Williams' knee said he expects to participate in team drills. I mean, this guy's always hurt, not a surprise. Mark Andrews, undisclosed, did not participate in Monday's practice, but head coach John Harbaugh said Andrews is dealing with a minor issue and will be fine. So just minor stuff here and there worth noting. And Jaylen Warren, hamstring, is expected to miss multiple weeks with hamstring injury. Something to note. That's not good, Jim. I think you have some stock in him, right?
Oh, boy. Hamstrings. And the hamstrings are they're the worst. They're absolutely the worst. I was traumatized by Keenan Allen 2 seasons ago when he had that damn hamstring injury and he kept missing week after week after week. And he didn't even get onto the field until like week 9 or 10. And it was just brutal. It was just destroyed my fantasy teams that I had him on because he was so expensive. And makes me just want to completely stay away from that situation. Anybody with a hamstring, stay away. Don't draft him.
All right, guys, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, smash it, tap it, slap it, hit the thumbs up, go grab 16 rounds right now and hit the thumbs up. I want everybody in here in the comments, smash that thumbs up, guys, right now. Drop a comment below. We'll get to Q&A here at the end. I want to keep it within the half-hour time frame. I want to be done here at 9 o'clock. Got tons to do tonight. I got to talk here, though. Let's start with round 1, Jim. Who are the worst? Let's go your worst pick and my worst pick. There's tons of potential bad picks, but we don't know. We'll go your worst pick and my worst pick for each of the first 5 rounds. Kind of roll through each round. In the comments, guys, drop your worst pick in each of the rounds so we can make this interactive with everyone here. So, Jim, why don't you go first? Who is, in your opinion, the guy with the most red flags in round 1 for fantasy football 2024? Player to avoid.
Okay, so I invite you guys to go check out my app 16 Rounds Plus because all the players are rated according to the Cuddy score, which is consistency, upside, durability, depth chart, and youth. They score points on each of those criteria. Those points are added up. That gives them a score between 1 and 100. 100 is best. And this guy scored 4. He scores 4. It's a bad situation. Absolute worst choice in the first round right now. I cannot believe he is still going as a first-round player. Justin Jefferson, Minnesota, the number 1 receiver there. Yes, but it's Sam Darnold that's going to be throwing him passes, man. It's a disaster. It's a situation as bleak as it was with Garrett Wilson last year with his quarterback, with his terrible quarterback. Prepare for a similar experience if you take Justin Jefferson this year. So absolutely do not take this guy.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Jefferson, definitely a lot of red flags here. My guy I'm going with, it's a tough one here, but I have to go with Puka Nacua. by the way, I want to tell you, I've said this in many episodes. I love Puka's talent. I think the guy's a great talent. I think he's amazing. But we have a healthy Cooper Kupp right now. We got Stafford who's already dealing with some sort of hamstring issue already. And again, Jim, you talk about these over the hill years for these quarterbacks, but I'm going to lean Puka Nacua here just because he's had such an amazing record breaking rookie year. A safe and healthy Cooper Kupp is going to dilute that volume, and it's going to push him out of that first round volume contention, making him bust on ADP. I still think he finishes maybe top 15, but as a top 5 guy, first rounder, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's so tough with Cooper Kupp there, knowing he has that rapport with Stafford through the years. If he's healthy, he could be the one primary target there for him. Stay away from Justin Jefferson, says Jay Slay Fantasy. Yeah, man, I agree. So, and also Nico, we're going to get to round 2 in a second here. Hopefully he doesn't steal that from us. All right. So let's go to round 2 picks here, Jim. Let me get that going here. One sec. Round 2 picks. All right. So let's go. So who is your worst pick for round 2?
Okay. Now this guy is a receiver that is over the age of 30. And he has been in the league for 11 seasons, but now he finds himself stuck on a poor offense with a poor quarterback. Actually, an unsettled quarterback situation, could be one of 2 quarterbacks. Also, there's increased competition for targets from who they took in the draft, but it's Davante Adams of the Las Vegas Raiders. Again, just a very much this guy is in a decline phase of his career. We saw a big decline in his production last year. I think we're going to see a similar level of decline this year. And so this is not a guy that you want to spend all the draft capital that you have to spend to get him. Again, Cuddy score. This guy scores 27 Cuddy points. It's just really bad. I don't like him at all. I have 0 shares of Davante Adams through all my drafts so far this season.
But volume could be a good thing for him. Again, I'm not sold on him. The quarterback play, I mean, who really knows, right? Like, who really knows? Minshew's getting the start from what I hear.
Yeah, Minshew's getting the start, but we got Brock Bowers in there now, so there's more target competition. Plus, you got Jacoby Myers, and
people laugh at you. People laugh at you when you say Jacoby Myers. It's Jacoby Myers. I'm the one talking because I call Bijan Bijan Bijan, but it's Jake. Why do you call him Jacoby?
I don't know. I just think that's the way it should be pronounced.
Jacoby.
But anyway, there is a lot more competition for targets. I actually really like Brock Bowers this year. Actually, I think he's a great because he's going as like the tight end 10 or 11 on most boards. And so I'm going to take that value because he's a pretty special talent. But yeah, I mean, I see a decline in his opportunities and a decline in his production, in his efficiency. And so he's going to score less fantasy points than he did last year, which is less than what he scored the year before. This is not the kind of player that you want on your team. It's not the kind of player that's going to win you leagues. You're only hoping to see if the decline is only small, but this is an age 31 player. I think he turns age 32 this year. I don't know. I don't know what his birthday is, but I would just stay away.
I'm going with, again, it depends. Some of these players that we're going to mention here might slip to round 3, but I'm going Devin Achane. Listen, he's coming off late round 2, early round 3, pretty much late round 2, because people want that running back. Going back to that question, he's explosive. He's got upside. Devin Achane is explosive. He's got upside. He's got talent. He's got everything going for him, but he got hurt last year, and they brought Jaden Wright. They drafted him. I mean, I don't know. It's just a bit of a committee monster to slate to be the starter there, still coming off a big season. I don't know. I have some question marks here personally when it comes to Achane. I don't feel warm and fuzzy, so I'm out on Achane. That's kind of the guy I'm avoiding. I don't want to say he's the worst pick, but he's pretty much up there because he's such a high risk. He's volatile, and I don't trust the Miami Dolphins running back committee there. I don't feel warm and fuzzy. That being said, I definitely see the ceiling. I see the upside, just like I do with Puka Nacua. These guys are explosive. They're amazing talent, but I personally don't trust them. I just like other safer options there. So Achane for me.
For me, he's listed as a risky pick. And obviously the biggest risk is his durability, his size. Is this a guy that can handle a workload like we want to see? And then also just the crowded backfield. I personally would much rather take a chance on Jalen Wright, see what happens there. But that's just me.
Yeah. All right. Next guy here is what do we got? Let's
round
go to
three, right?
round three picks, guys. We're gonna go to round 5 here. Drop it below, guys. Some guys you want to avoid here. So round 3, Jim, who are you avoiding?
All right, my lowest rated Cuddy score player scores a big fat 0 Cuddy points. It's Nico Collins, man. Nico Collins. Again, last year he was not consistent. He missed time. He did get that nice contract extension. Kudos to him for getting paid. But they brought in Stephon Diggs, man. Diggs is the one on this team. I know you're saying it's Tank Dell. For me, it's Diggs. Diggs is going to whine and bitch until the coach's ear falls off if he doesn't get all the targets that he thinks he deserves. So you've got to increase target competition. Nico's not even the one. He's a guy going really early on draft boards. Again, ADP around 33. I just see him as a poor value at that point in the draft. There's better wide receivers if you're going to go wide receiver that round, or running backs. He's just a very poor choice all around. Just I don't like him at all. I don't like where he's at, and so I'm staying away.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys here I don't like in this round. Man, where do I start? Nico was my guy, but you took him. So I'm going to go with, I did that 2K buy-in league back in June. I saw both Ayuk and Debo come off in this round. So I'm going to go with Debo Samuel here. Again, with maybe if Ayuk got shipped off, Debo would be good. But they've got CMC, they got Kittle, they got diluted target share there. These aren't going to be high volume target guys. The only way Debo does well is when he gets a lot of rushing touchdowns, which could be viable, but they've got Jordan Mason there. They drafted Isaac Rendo. They got other guys. If CMC goes down, I think they'll be fine. But this whole Debo Ayuk thing, I'm not sold on either one of these guys being a monster top wide receiver. So I'm going to pass on both those guys, particularly Debo in this round. I see him coming off round 3 quite a bit, and I'm not sold. And Ayuk, who knows what happens with Ayuk? Is he going to be, looks like he's going to stay with the 49ers. Is he going to be disgruntled? And it almost seems like he tested the market, got turned down, didn't get what he wants. Now he's kind of defaulting back to the 49ers, which I would think give the 49ers a little more leverage to say, hey, man, take what we give you at this point, man. Because I think he's running out of options, that guy.
Yeah, I think he just had an overinflated view of what he could get on the open market, and he was thinking, I'm going to be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, and the NFL is going, no, you're not an elite wide receiver 1 like you think you are. So I think he's crashing in on that reality, because I heard that I just read on the news feed that the Steelers offered him $28 million a year. It's not what he wants, man. He wants $33 million a year. And so he's not going to get it with the Niners. He's not going to get it with Pittsburgh. I think he is just going to stay put. This is the final year of his contract. He'll hit the open market next season, and he'll probably be able to command more money than he can right now. So, and frankly, in my opinion, it's the best place for him to stay as far as the ability that they have a chance that they could win a Super Bowl. This is a Super Bowl caliber team. Yeah. It's way better than going to Pittsburgh, which is a big downgrade. So, I don't really want either Ayuk or Debo. I don't want either of them. They both ranked pretty poorly in the app. So,
all right, moving on to round 4, Jim. Worst picks. Again, drop a comment below, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Drop a comment below. Who do you guys dislike here? Debo's a gadget player. Some people saying, there's a bunch of stuff here. Different comments here. All right, so guys, who are we avoiding here? Round 4, Jim.
All right, this is another guy who did really good last year, man. He really did quite excellent. He was like the wide receiver 7 last year, but his situation is entirely different this year. It is DJ Moore of the Chicago Bears. Last year, great season, man. 96 catches, 1,364 yards, 8 touchdowns. But it's important to realize that, A, that was with a different quarterback. Justin Fields isn't there anymore. 2, there's all this additional competition for targets now, including Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze, who's really just an amazing talent as far as wide receivers go. So his target share is going to be diluted. He's not going to get as many targets as he got last year, playing with a rookie quarterback who may or may not be accurate. Caleb looks pretty good in the preseason here, but we, again, just like Bo Nix, wait till they face a real NFL defense on Sunday for a real game. So I am staying way clear of DJ Moore. He just doesn't score well in the app. He 21 Cuddy points is all he gets, and he's just an avoid. I wouldn't take him no matter where, even if he falls, I wouldn't take him. It's just a bad situation.
Yeah. I got to go with my next guy here. And where is he? I lost him. Now, this guy comes off typically round 3, but he falls to 4 sometimes. It's James Cook. Like, I'm not seeing the hype. 2 touchdowns last year, more dilution with Ray Davis. They signed Frank Gore Jr. It's going to be a disaster here, man. Absolute disaster. I have no interest at all in Frank Gore Jr. I mean, sorry, not Frank. I'm doing my as Frank Gore Jr. I'd rather stash Frank Gore Jr. I have no interest in James Cook because of Frank Gore Jr. signing and because of Ray Davis and the fact that Josh Allen runs a lot. So I'm out on Cook. I don't see the fastest. I don't see the high ADP. Way overrated. I don't care for him at all. I'm out completely.
I know you're kind of you've always kind of been out on the Cook family, right? You didn't like Dalvin. You never liked Dalvin. And now here's his brother in here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite as bad as what you say. I got him listed as a risky pick. He actually offers some pretty good value, and there is some upside with the passing game. Like he can, because of all the targets that were freed up this past year, he's got a chance to take a bigger share of the passing game. Last season, he had how many? 44 catches. That could certainly go up this year. But again, because he is not utilized on the goal line, and because it's Josh Allen as his quarterback, man, he's not going to get the goal line. He's not going to get that work that really caps his value. I don't like to draft running backs that play with a rushing quarterback straight up. So I have not taken him in any of my leagues, but if he was to fall, I'd consider it, but I'm not really thrilled about it. So it is a contract year for him as well. So that's also good. So
last one, round 5 here. I'll start off with mine, then Jimmy could wrap it up with yours. I'm going to go Christian Kirk here to wrap it up. I don't see the hype. He's a beta 2. He's not the real deal. Christian Kirk, I'm completely out on. Brian Thomas Jr. all the way. And that's the end. That's all I got to say, man. That's it. I'm okay. Christian Kirk sucks. Here's to wow us. We're not wowed. Don't draft him. Grab Brian Thomas Jr. later. You're going to thank me. So I'm out on him completely.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have any shares of Kirk either. And yeah, Brian Thomas is the guy you want. That's gonna be the big play guy. That's gonna be downfield. Kirk is just gonna be working in the slot. And there's just not a lot of upside there. There's no upside for him to grow his role. I got a tie in the 5th round for 2 old running backs that you should not take because they're old. And the wheels are gonna fall off if they haven't already fallen off. But I've got both Aaron Jones and James Conner here tied with 0 cutty points for the upcoming season. Again, both these guys are over age 38. In fact, Aaron Jones
over 30, over age 30.
I'm sorry. Yeah. He's over age. They're over age 28. Aaron Jones is 29. I believe he turns 30 this season. And then, James Conner is 28. So you got 2 guys here, 2 aging backs. Aaron Jones changed teams. James Conner's got Trey Benson behind him, nipping at his heels. Yeah. So I really don't want to risk such an early pick. I mean, we're talking top 60 pick here on these older guys, man. I mean, there are younger players which are much more enticing at this point in the draft that I would much rather have, because you don't want to be holding the bag. You don't want to be holding the bag with an old running back when the wheels fall off. Just look what happened last year with Austin Eckler.
Right.
You know, that tells you all you need to know, man. Stay away from these old guys because the chances of them disappointing at this age are very high. So
yeah, they have
don't do it.
They have 0 business being starters on the teams. And the Trey Benson, young, hungry, he's going to take that job. So I'm out on them. All right, let's get right to that. Because again, I want to keep it under half an hour. We got 5 minutes. Let's take some questions here. So Jim, do you want to pull up some questions? I'll let you do it because you got admin rights today. I want to see if I'll let you take it. Peter North. We got Peter North in the room. He says Jim is boozing tonight. He thinks you're
boozing tonight. No, I'm not. I'm not slurring my words. I'm sober. But I am tired, so I got that.
All right, so you pick one, Jim. I'll let you manage this. See, you're good.
Hold on here. Wait, I'm trying to figure this out here.
Yeah, Jim's new to
these things. These things move real fast, man. I gotta grab it. Okay,
grab a comment.
There we go. Metcalf, Pittman, or Neighbors at the end of round 3.
Neighbors for me. Neighbors easy.
For me, I would do Pittman. Really? again, if I'm taking, I'm not going to take Neighbors as my wide receiver one. I'm not going to do it. These rookies, I like him for the flex, which means he'd have to be at least my wide receiver 3, which means I'd have to go wide receiver to take him. That's probably not going to happen. So I would go Pittman. I think Pittman's solid. And, Flacco is the backup quarterback for Indy this year. Flacco's been great. He's been really great for fantasy for his receivers. So that's what I would do.
Yeah, so I'd go Neighbors. I just like the upside. I like the volume. I like the youth. Everything about him is exciting. All right, who's this? Octavio Soares says, if you have the number 3 overall pick and Bajan and Brees are there and both are gone, who would you, what? Both are gone, who would you take? I doubt that they're not going to be gone. 3rd overall.
Bajan one of them is probably going to be available for pick 3.
For sure.
Very, very rarely would that happen. But if that happened, I'd probably take Tyreek Hill. That's where I would go.
I'd go Saquon Barkley. I'm getting that running back. I'm getting the best.
You take Saquon 3rd overall? It's not a great situation, man.
Don't sleep, man. I'm telling you, Saquon is going to run wild on you. Run wild on you, baby.
Sorry, man. Hurts is going to take the goal line, man. Hurts is taking the goal line of that guy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Is Chase Brown a top 10 running back?
No, I don't see that. Again, the opportunity is great. He could take the starting job. Just top 10 is a bit of a reach. I don't see it. No chance.
Yeah. It's a great situation. It's a great offense. Both him and Zach Moss should actually both be pretty good, but I don't see either of them being a RB1 this year.
Let's go a couple more questions, Jim, and then we got to roll. 2 more questions here.
Oh, how much is 16 rounds plus? Well, you've come to the right place. The subscription is $24.95. Just go to 16roundsplus.com, subscribe, and you can use it in as many drafts as you want. The app is continuously updated. It's updated through the first week of the NFL. So that Sunday is when we kind of close it down. But you can use it in as many drafts as you want. It's got a special best ball mode. And if you are a Draft Solution subscriber, you can get it for half price. The code is behind the counselor's paywall. So that's where you would get it. And
I like the picture there. He's got the Smash It shirt there. Last question here. And again, hit the thumbs up. Great question here. London or Marvin Harrison? Tough question. London, make or break year. Marvin Harrison, young, dynamic, amazing talent. You would think logically Marvin Harrison, right, Jim?
No, actually, I would go London.
Right, I would go Marvin Harrison.
I think Marvin Harrison's too expensive. Like I said, those 2 guys are very expensive. You're asking a lot for them to be worth their draft cost. I'm much more in on guys like Keon Coleman, Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas Jr. Those guys I can get much later, and I can get them as my wide receiver 3 or 4, so they're flex plays. So that's what I prefer. I'm going to go for the veteran.
All right, guys, smash it, tap it, slap it, hit the thumbs up. Players avoid, do not draft these guys at all. And make sure you found all the optimal players draft, grab the 16-round draft. So should we like to below? Go grab 16 rounds right now. You'll never look back. Thanks, guys, for being here. Thank you, Jim. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Counselor.
Take care.